Hello, this is Jeff Bell with Krimson Political Action Council, and I'm very pleased to be with Mr. Chris Harris, an incumbent candidate for re-election for the Alexandria, Virginia School Board. And of all the things going on politically, we have a historic run for office by Vice President Kamala Harris and all the other things going on. But as a member of KPAC and standing on our policy initiatives, we are aggressively addressing Project 2025, which I'm going to start calling it Project 1925, because that would be the direction that we'll be going to if this gets implemented. And I'm very happy to have Mr. Harris here to share his thoughts, especially as it relates to education in Alexandria. Ms. Harris, what are your initial thoughts of the prospect of implementation of Project 1925?
I appreciate you having me. And this is a serious issue. And I don't think that we're kind of really realizing the potential impacts of this initiative, so to speak. I mean, in regard to schools, it pose serious threats. This agenda here has the potential to roll back resources on support and the school systems. It's going to curb funding and change curriculum. And to be frank, by diverting these type funds from public schools and pushing for these policies, they're going to limit the access for inclusive education. And it directly undermines the progress that we've made in creating, equitable learning for all kids. And if this was to move forward, we are going to see a drastic reduction in programs that serve our most vulnerable students.
I'm thinking with, you look at the abolition of the Department of Education and funding in the direction of private schools. Is there a prospect, we'll just say in Alexandria, if that takes place, is it too much to say that we're essentially squeezing children out of education?
Oh, absolutely. Every year, we just now conclude our budget process from last year. Every year, we're asking for more funds from the city and from the state. And in Alexandria, all of our educational funding comes from city council. And this past year, we had to ask for $11 million more than the proposed budget. I mean, that's excessive, but it was necessary. And part of that problem is the state every year minimizes what they give to public schools. And they change the standards, the testing, the curriculum, and everything is to make it seem like that public schools are failing, to kind of divert the funds and resources to private education and charter schools. And yes, we are squeezing kids out of the educational system because we're giving up on them. We're not giving them the resources that they need. Teachers and educators are being squeezed out because they have so many responsibilities that are being tasked on them. It's a tough time for education right now.
Also thinking about ending Head Start. My understanding is very critical in terms of preparing kids for school. What happens in Alexandria if Head Start is eliminated?
Well, here, Head Start is a luxury. Every locality does not even have Head Start. And what data shows is that the most impactful education kids receive are from Head Start all the way through fourth grade. Me personally, I never went to Head Start. I never went to preschool. I started off, or kindergarten. I started off in first grade. But everyone doesn't have that luxury. There's basic things that you need to be engaged in to kind of set you forth throughout the rest of your educational career. And it is noted and it shows that if you don't have Head Start in preschool, you start off in the red. You're playing catch up throughout your entire educational career. And most importantly, it impacts the low income and marginalized kids in our community. So right now it's a luxury, but again, everyone doesn't have access to it. Right now, Head Start is selective. Everyone doesn't have the opportunity to be in. So it's a pool. So you're selected for Head Start. And in most aspects, it costs. And it's cost prohibitive to families that do not have resources to have their kids in these programs. So again, that's not equitable, which is an issue.
So I guess in Alexandria, if you are middle class to impoverished, what happens when you redirect funds out of public schools, or just say, for instance, the voucher program? Have you, in Alexandria, are you familiar anywhere where a voucher would sufficiently pay the tuition of a private school?
No, it's crumbs. It wouldn't cover you being able to walk through the door. But that's by design. This is not built for success. Just like most systems in this country, they're operating as if they were originally designed. So they're not broken. They're just not catering to those that need it most. So we're fighting an uphill battle by advocating for resources, advocating for tools, trying to pay these educators and take care of them because they have families to go home to. It's a rough road. There is, I hate to be dramatic, but there is a fight against public education that's just now getting started. And if this initiative, if you want to call it, is implemented, the fight's going to be a lot more difficult.
So what would your message be to the citizens of Alexandria? Because quiet as is kept, a lot of these tenets of the Project 1925 are being pushed locally now. What would your message be to your voters in Alexandria to be able to effectively reject this?
We have to educate ourselves. We hear about these things happening, we read about them, and we just think it's just a blip on the wall. I have done a deep dive into this initiative, and this is impactful. What we need to continue to do is we need to continue to advocate for increased funding for public education, for equitable access to quality resources and teachers, and push for policies that ensure every student has the opportunity to thrive. Right? I mean, what Project 2025 is going to impact is more than just education. It's going to impact mental health. It's going to impact safety. And it's not going to ensure that these kids are supported in and outside the classroom. And we're just not talking about schools. We're not talking about the impact it's going to have on the community. And, we need to ensure that by supporting KPAC, it's not just about advancing the political goals. It's about securing the future of the community and our children.
Well said. I appreciate you. I wish we could go on or come to the end of our discussion and look forward to meeting with you again to discuss this further. Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Thank you much.